What is up, my mutant ninjas? You have got Johnny Brento with another Johnny Brento's vlog here on the YouTube Mutantville Players channel. Going to give you a quick recap of the events of the weekend and let you know what might be up potentially this week. This past weekend was pretty crazy, I gotta say. Had a release of Respawner online, which got a fantastic response, so thank you very much to the 50 or more people that checked that out, and looking for those numbers to climb. Love your comments, so keep them coming. I inadvertently accidentally made private the Grindhouse version of Respawner, so I'll be posting that along with an article sometime this week, so folks can see that as well. It's the same edit, just Grindhouse style for fun, you know, because we can, if you will. So after that, on Friday, ended up talking to Strebo and decided to hold off going to see Iron Man Friday afternoon, like I normally would on the opening weekend of a big film like that I'm going to be into. So actually ended up holding off. Had the big Smith Splash Music Festival benefit in the YMCA Park in Albemarle on Saturday, and I got to tell you, it was freakishly cold. I went out there probably about 10 o'clock, and it was like 60 or something. It was pretty cool. I had a big cup of hot green tea with me, and I was glad to have that because it was extremely chilly. Speaking of hot green tea, there's tea in Mutantville. So got out there early, checked out the setup, watched a couple of the acts, saw the Boy Scouts come out there and give the pledge and all that. It was real cute. I used to be a Boy Scout, little known fact, true. But I went back and loaded up, got ready for the show. Had a bunch of different media going for you guys this time, tons of cameras. I think we had like 4 cameras going on the band at one point. Unfortunately, one of those was my GoPro, and I got run into a technical issue with it, in that I received a bar like the day before the show on Friday, an extension bar, which basically took my telecam from like tight at the end of the headstock to like out here. It looked amazing, but it was too flimsy basically, and it actually kind of threw me off a bit, and that video was entirely unusable except for still shots because it was just way too floppy and it looked goofy. But I digress. That didn't stop us from rocking faces at Smith Splash. But we eventually got on around 2 o'clock and played another set that ended up getting cut short as per usual. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you. It seems like it gets a little shorter every year, except that we're thrilled to be there and play. Of course, when we get up there and start doing our thing, we're hitting our stride, you know, about 30 minutes in, we're ready to play for another 15 minutes, and that's when it's over, you know, there. But in any case, it's always great, and I appreciate those guys having us. Thanks to Neil Smith for running the sound, and Eddie Snuggs for having us out there and providing a lot of the instrumentation and amps and whatnot, and it's always a fun event. And ironically, the sun came out for our part, so we actually had a pretty decent temperature. But I think overall, there were a lot of people out there, but I think overall it had to have hurt the turnout. Just the weather was gloomy, and I know it went on until almost dark, and it got really cold again after we got off. But anyway, I digress. So we rocked our set, got off stage, ran over and jumped in to see the 4 o'clock 2D version of Iron Man 3 with Strebo. And actually, in a strange twist of fate, Todd, A. Britt, and our friend Felicity showed up, and they also saw the film with us. And yeah, man, it's a long picture, and there's a lot I could say about it, and a lot I did say about it, in fact. But to hear that, you'll have to go over to the mutantville.com and check out the most recent MVP radio posting. If you look at the top header, it's featured up there, and it's also in the categories underneath the top header. It's the second from the left, MVP radio. You can always find the latest MVP radio right there, and you'll see Iron Man 3 review on MVP Mutant Radio. Check that out because it's a lengthy interview, and we really get into it. And we were all kind of on the same page with this movie, so I'll just leave it at that and suggest that you hop over there and check that out at mutantville.com if you're interested to hear our take on Iron Man 3. After that movie, I kind of did a very little bit of capturing and preparing the video for the Absolute Zero YouTube channel. Of course, anytime we have a performance, I try to gather all the media up as quickly as I can and you know, figure out what's worth posting, the best performances. Obviously, I don't post every single song, and any song that there's mistakes in or whatever that are significant, I don't post, because that's just the way it is. You know, you gotta sell the sizzle, baby. Can't be putting your mistakes up there, but you know, we all make them. But I digress. It was a good event. I was happy to do it, but I left with the feeling that I really wanted to put on a bigger Absolute Zero show, and we're going to be doing that, I hope, at one of the functions coming up here with the county very soon, and perhaps a two-hour show. And that'd be great for us, because we have probably about 35 original songs, and we usually have to just pick, you know, 30 minutes, 45 minutes worth of those. And I will say this year we elected to do more difficult songs than we did the first time we played Smith Splash, and you know, I miss playing some of the easier songs, but we wanted to get it out there. There are songs we've got that have never seen, you know, an audience other than when we were practicing them, but never really been played at a show, and we're eager to rectify that, you know, of course. So it was a good time, but I'm looking forward to that next show for sure. We took Sunday off from practice since we've been really working hard at it for about 2 months, and we'll resume our regular practice schedule, as far as I know, next Sunday around 3 in the theater, and just march on to that next performance, and we'll of course let you know when that is. Now back to the movie planet here, the movie subject matter. Got an interview this week with Dan Kinham of VHS Hit Fest, or Shit Fest, depending on how fast you read it, and their movie Adjust Your Tracking, which of course is a documentary basically telling the story of VHS. And I really look forward to that interview. I'm not sure yet if it's going to be an audio interview, video, or just an article, but I've submitted my questions for the interview, and they're good ones, so I'm excited about that. And maybe this week or next week that'll be posted on the site, along with my review of Adjust Your Tracking, which is not out yet. It's just doing the festival circuit right now, but you definitely want to check this out if you're a VHS fan. Got some pretty sweet VHS in and on the way. Got Fade to Black with Roddy McDowell, which I've been after that one for a long time. That showed up yesterday. You can check out my fan page, VHS Graveyard, if you're interested in seeing a picture of that. And I also sometimes post exclusive VHS review type content on there. Had a conversation with the master of Mutantville, Shrebo McMagic, and tentatively we have scheduled next Saturday to get together and start putting together the footage for perhaps a web series from the Sea for Chaos, the amazing Lost Mutantville film. Very excited about that. I think that could be extremely cool. So, you know, I'll hook up with you guys once again when I have more to say, or Strebo doesn't have anything to say, one of the two, and that rarely happens. So look for the next vlog here on YouTube/Mutantville Players, youtube.com/Mutantville Players, or on Mutantville.com as always, and we'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks.